Or
just cut 2 7/8 for my piece.
say what?
Oh. I don't got nothing. I got no notifications.
We'll give it a second.
It's more than a second already.
All right. Well, what are you talking about now?
That's for the fuse holder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how much? What is this? See, there you go. You got your notification. This is how wide?
This is the right side.
No, I know that.
This is the left side.
Yeah, I got that. But I mean, I'm just making this piece right here, right? Like, I don't need to make this whole piece. I'm just gonna make a plaque for right here.
Okay.
I mean, that seems to make more sense, right? I mean, I don't need this whole thing. It's not like you're not going to see any of this. It's just going to be shiny. So, I mean, if I could just make a piece that goes here and we bolt it on, that would probably be a better idea.
Okay.
All right. This is the kind of debate that we have going throughout the day.
I want to go crazy, man.
I know, but it's kind of pointless.
Yes.
All right, everyone. How's everybody doing? I know what you're thinking. Holy cow, Fernando, this is the first day we've been live all week.
Yes, it's been
And it's
crazy.
Thursday. I like this question.
It's
Dean, what basic tool can I use to make a plastic amp holder at home? Well, I don't know what you have access to, but the reality is depending on how thick your plastic is, a razor knife and a straight edge, you could score plastic and break it.
You're going to be there in years.
You're going to be there years. A jigsaw works fabulously.
Yeah.
You can pick up a jigsaw for $20 now, I think, from the cheap tool store. Use a finer blade. Actually, depending on the type of plastic. If you're going with PVC, a fine blade is fine. If you're going to go ABS, get something with a lot of teeth. And don't go slow on ABS. ABS, you got to kind of move on. Because the more time you camp out, the more it melts back together. So it's usually no fun. But a jigsaw is a perfectly acceptable tool to use. PVC, you can almost get away with a razor knife because that stuff breaks pretty easy. But one of the reasons why we definitely made a point of coming on today, you haven't, is our buddies over at Audio Control, Matthew Palumbo, they're doing their show today. It's that time of the month again. This month's topic is no head unit, no problem. Join them at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or 11 o'clock Pacific for the conversation that they're going to have. So make sure you head over there and do that. We're working. It's funny that that's their topic because we're working on this. This is a 2021 Ford Explorer, and we're doing the same exact thing. We're integrating into that factory stereo because there's nothing for this. There's no Zen, there's no AR, of course there's no Amp Pro, there's no Metro, there's no nothing, and we're filming it, so that's a bonus. So we'll kind of give you brief pieces of what this is, but we don't want to give away the show because at some point you guys are going to want to go in depth on it. Did my light finally die? I was going to show you what's going on back here, but my light finally died. We have the back door closed because we are filming, and go to town, Fernando. And the guys next door, they love to hang out in the parking lot and talk really, really loud. Oops, sorry, hang on, I'm plugging this in. You can do it, Dean. There you go. And that becomes very distracting in the videos. You can hear them making noise. Got it?
That's mine.
I got the other light. All right. So on this Ford Explorer, there's a tablet there in the dash that you can see. It's very cheap looking. No offense to Ford. It looks like an Android tablet, which is really kind of strange. It looks.
They make two different ones.
They make two different ones. Yes, we've done the bigger one, and that's when it lights up, it's awesome because it has this like mountain range that comes on it. So when it's off is really when it's kind of like that, and then you turn on and go, "Oh, that's pretty." But regardless of all that, and I'm a Ford owner, so I feel like I have the right to say things like that. But in the back of the car here, this is the radio. Way back here. So yeah, that's the controller, but you have to come all the way back here to actually get to the radio. And the harnesses are unique just to this. They haven't come out with these yet. It's a gray, it's a black. They're kind of square. They almost look like the Chevys, just a little bigger on the new ones. But you'll see this right here. So because they don't make an actual harness yet for this car, we've soldered in our own. Right now they're connected because we're not ready for them. We haven't gotten to the point where we're actually going to put any amplifier or run any wires in the car. We're still doing some exploring on this, but that is there. Brand new audio control. Protect light blinks on and off. First time turned on. 2.6 works fine. Ground is good. Sub also. New wire connector at 2 ohm. Man, that's 2.6 is kind of low. Not gonna lie, 2.6 is kind of low. If it's resting at 2.6, that means when it starts and tries to play, it's probably going well below that. Check your ground resistance. See what kind of ground plane resistance you have. Also, what is it at the battery? I mean, it's a 1500 watt amp. I mean, we should be getting more than 12.6. I mean, that seems kind of low, but it should still turn on, and you should still get sound. But yeah. Speaking of battery, this is the battery location here on the Explorer. It's kind of similar to the Mustang. The blue tape is on there because that's Fernando's template. He's, as we saw, just currently
So
doing
2.25
that.
black.
12.6 I meant works fine. The 12.6 is a smaller amplifier, so it doesn't draw as much current. But there again, if that's working fine, you may have something wrong with the audio control. I mean, by all means, give them a call. It comes with a tremendous warranty. So,
Or you can join, like.
well, then
and then you can ask them.
yeah, they're not going to answer that question
Okay.
there. That's something you need to call tech support on. Matthew's not going to be able to deal with something like that while they're doing a live show. That would be kind of rude, actually. Do you have any solutions for F-150 rear view mirror rattle? Drives me nuts when subs are at low volume. Put a backup camera in and remove the mirror? I don't know. No, I don't. I don't have any solutions for that. Yeah, stuff a pillow around it. There's no cool thing. There's no great solution. Hey, Dean, what would you recommend I upgrade on my 2010 Civic with 900 watt? What kind of radio does it have? What kind of speakers does it have? I mean, that car's an easy enough upgrade for a new radio, new speakers. If you want to keep the radio fine, maybe get a DSP. I mean, it's usual channels of upgrades. High efficiency speakers with low power versus less efficiency speakers with big amps. Ooh, well, that's a debate. I don't know if we have time to go into that. No, I'm a fan of both. I don't care one way or the other. I like to. They're both equally expensive. Like, if you do small amplifiers that are efficient, they're just as expensive as big amplifiers that aren't. So it's kind of funny. I like them both. I'm not going to lie. I have no problem with either one. I look at it as a purposeful thing, meaning, what am I doing? Where am I going? What kind of power do I have to begin with? Personally, I wish more people would do these smaller amplifiers with the efficient speakers, because then they wouldn't have these voltage issues. But everyone here feels like, I got to have 10,000 watts of power, and the answer to that is no, you really don't. You're fine with like a Forza from Audison or any of the other ones. Helix amplifiers are built like that, where they're super, they're small. They 70 watts, 80 watts per channel. You put some of their efficient speakers, or like the Blam we did the other day where it was a 2 ohm speaker on it. You get tons of power out of it. It sounds wonderful, and it's like, wow, this is pretty cool. And you're not taxing the hell out of the car. I feel, looking at the way, and you may agree or disagree with this, the way the electrical systems are going in these cars, like the more efficient, smaller systems will probably be the better move in the future.
I disagree, just because. No, I agree.
You would. I mean, I think about it. Like, the Priuses, the battery operated cars, there's no reason to not go with a smaller amplifier that's got a more efficient, put a more efficient speaker
totally.
on it.
Yeah.
We just have to have higher end speakers, which is the problem, that are efficient, because you typically, they'll have a lower power handling on them. And what manufacturers have found is that if you take a high-end speaker and you put a 70-watt rating on it, nobody buys it because they're like, oh, it's crap, it's only 70 watts.
Right.
It's like, think of it this way. If like a quality of a K2 that was efficient but still cost the price of a K2, but when you open it up, the box said, 50 to 75 watts. Who's buying that?
Yeah.
Nobody. Nobody's buying that.
70 watts, what?
Helix for the win. Hey, what's up, Oscar? Is he going to Orlando?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I believe so, yeah.
Forza, baby. I still need more power at Bridge. Of course you do. Agreed. I really enjoy M-Series Amp Dyno. Oh, I really enjoyed the M-Series Amp Dyno you did. Perfect. We have a bunch more lined up. It's just a matter of knocking them out. Did you notice the unintended pun? You are exploring the Explorer? Haley called hers Dora, so, I mean, the Explorer puns are aplenty. Then the Hertz SPL show, baby, or Focal 2 ohm. When is the new podcast coming out? Not anytime soon. I mean, I would love to get back to the podcast, but honestly, right now, the way our brains are kind of working and have been overworked, thinking of something to do in a podcast is almost impossible.
It's not almost. It is impossible.
It is impossible. Not gonna lie, Fernando and I are kind of exhausted. Yeah. As everyone is. It's not a unique thing just to us. We know that the world is an exhausted place right now, but it does hurt the creativity and make things kind of more difficult. So, for everyone that's been trapped at home, or like us have been trapped here, or wherever you're trapped, we're all kind of in that same mind-numbing sense that it's like, I need a change, I need a break, and doing more work really isn't that thing.
It's not helping.
Where did you guys go with Instagram? It's been 4 days. I know, we just haven't, we haven't been doing it. It's just, this week has not been good. Let's just leave it at that. Man. When tuning, do you ever tune via Bluetooth or always USB? Always USB. We either do USB or plug in through aux if the car's just being a pain in the butt. No, we never do it over USB. USB use sucks. Hi guys, what's up?
Bluetooth
how's your day
sucks. Going? USB is better.
What he said. Today's going better, so that's nice. We like today. Headrest tweeters, what's your thoughts on the location? Terrible. God, please don't. I mean, if you want to go deaf and never hear again, by all means, put some tweeters in your headrest. They'll be the loudest things you've ever heard. And speaking of factory integration,
is it a Mazda or what?
yeah, it's a little, or that new, the new Kia with the headphone headrest.
Yes.
Speaking of integration, at 2 o'clock and exactly 26 or 36 minutes, probably 34 minutes, over on Audio Control's Facebook page, you can check out Matthew Palumbo talking about factory integration, not replacing the head unit. If you're on the Pacific, it will be the same time, but at 11 o'clock. This month's topic, like I said, no head unit, no problem. Make sure you guys head over there and check that out. It's a lot of good information. If you miss it, you can always find it later on the YouTube channel, or just go back and watch it on Facebook. Never heard you talk about JL speakers. Thoughts on the C1 series? Very efficient and good frequency range. The reason why we don't talk much about JL, and I feel we talk a decent amount of, not their speakers. It's not that I don't like their speakers. It's just they're not on my radar.
We never work in, we put what? Probably 1 set, 2 sets, and it's been like...
I think we've done 1 set of C7s.
Not constant.
I know we've done some 3s, 5s, and 1s. But they're just not on our radar of things to get excited about. Right. I feel like, most people want to talk about the exotic stuff like the Focal, the Hertz, the Audison, the BAM, the Helix, the Blam. Sorry, there's so many speakers out there nowadays that are just a little bit more exciting than the JL. Not that they're. I'm just saying, it's just like, I don't know, trying to move the conversation along and open it up to a bigger playing field. There is plenty of room for everyone to get on, but
totally.
I ran in the house. M25 was perfect for tweeters. I bet it was. Pro tip of the day. Pro tip of the day. All right,
protect your car.
Well, that's a good pro tip. As you see, Fernando's got this all dressed up. We talk about it in the video that we're filming for this one, but one of the things that we often do and don't ever really mention to you guys is what I call eating your vegetables first. Most people don't like vegetables. I'm a big fan of vegetables. As you guys know, I eat a salad tonight. I'll be eating my salad on TV when we do the Hi-Fi Vegas show.
You eat?
I eat my salad. Yeah, because I just get done running, and then I have to eat dinner. I'll pass out because we're going to 11 o'clock. So I eat my salad while we're filming Reverse Polarity on the Hi-Fi Vega network at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. What a plug. Anyways, sometimes you have a situation where you don't know what it is. In this case, where we're putting the amplifier in this and where the power wire needs to go in relationship to the battery. And so you have to, we're just getting started on this. And if you guys have followed long enough, you know that the battery is typically the last thing. But in this case, it had to be one of the first things because of where we want to put the amp. We need to know how we're getting to this. So Fernando pulled this all apart, and he's working on the fuse holder mount now because we needed to know. So he was going to stop working on this, and I was like, no, just finish this. So sometimes it's better to eat your vegetables first, meaning do the parts that are not the exciting parts, like connecting the battery, building a battery mount, building an amp rack, going back and dealing with the factory radio. It's really fun to just throw a set of speakers in the door because it's a great accomplished feeling, like, I put new speakers in, it's awesome, I'll deal with this later. But no, doing the harder stuff that is questionable first is always cool.
Yeah, it is always cool.
How's Dean's car lab going or not going? It's not going anywhere. I have a trunk full of parts for my car that haven't gone on my car yet either. So it's just one of those things, man. Right now, it's just a mindset. Right now, we're really focused on Knowledge Fest, which is next week. We'll be leaving this time next week. Will be our last day in the Bay because Friday, Saturday, Sunday we're going to be at Knowledge Fest, so there probably won't be a Saturday show of any kind. Thursday we're still trying to figure out how we're going to work the Hi-Fi Vega thing. Right now we're thinking that we're going to film it or do it while we're driving over there, and then Fernando can actually play the role of me while I'm driving. Aren't you excited?
No. No.
So we're thinking about doing that on Reverse Polarity. There probably won't be a side jag next Thursday night. There's one tonight, though, because Sue's going to be on tonight. We're going to be talking about risky business with her boyfriend, Tom Cruise. How can I add fake noise to my system? LOL. I want my Geo Metro to sound like a beast. Believe it or not, there's some cars that actually put speakers in the exhaust now. It's not just piped into the system. There's actually a speaker in the housing of the exhaust pipe, and it's a really nice speaker. I was looking at somebody's feed the other day where they had actually grabbed two of them from the junkyard to pull the speakers out, and I was like, that's ridiculous. Dean Morel, parts are waiting. They're always waiting. There they are right there. There's the Morels. Oh, hey, here we go. Let's turn it into a full Morel ad. Hey guys, wearing my favorite hat. Thank you, Natasha, by the way. Oh, I did. Yeah, we'll tell Morel stories at another time. I think Dean's waiting for the Morel 150 by 2 amp. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still up in the air about amplifiers, and I feel the longer I take, the Morel amps are right around the door, right around the corner. So, there's always that possibility that the amps will actually get here, and then I won't have to pull out whatever I want, whatever I settle on putting in there as opposed to what I really want to put in there.
Yeah.
He doesn't want them. Morel, I'll take them. No, not a chance. Yeah, they're not going anywhere. 115 degrees. Oh, God, Bobby. No thanks. You going to be working on Fernando's car lab soon? Yes, actually, we're halfway through a lab video on Fernando's car. We had to stop what we're doing because of time restraints. But yeah, the Ground Zero
amplifier.
Which I always forget the series.
The uranium?
Yes, thank you. The Ground Zero uranium stuff is halfway installed in his car right now. He has the speakers in there. The next step to go in will be the amplifier. We filmed the whole thing, so that'll be coming out probably first part of next month, realistically. But, whatever. I tried. Are you keeping the factory radio on the Mustang or changing it? I actually have the option to do both. That was one of the reasons why I bought the Mustang was that we can do AR, RR. So the MFT1 kit from iData will go right in there, as well as I can just plug a DSR1 into it or any AR compatible amplifier like a Forza, or the regular Prima amp, which was kind of my thought I wanted to do first, is put the Prima in there and just turn it on and let it rock and roll for a little bit and give me the ability to control the factory sound some and see if I can make it sound any better.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of ideas. Wait, are you working on a Mustang now? No. This is an Explorer, Jeff. We're working on an Explorer. No Mustang at the moment. Sorry. How's Gabby's car going? Nowhere fast. Sound Digital Ground Zero pulled out of Orlando, which freed up the time we were going to use to do that for something else that we can't talk about right yet because we
can't. This side, that side.
I'm going to be this side. Are you done?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna make whatever we have to make for that.
You don't want to finish it and get the. You don't have. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you have to wait for the.
All right, that's fine.
Whatever you have to do.
No problem. Anyways, so that freed up some time that we had another opportunity come in that we had to take care of, which we can't talk about because then we can't talk about. Dina, I'm gonna stop in and see you guys in a few weeks. Okay. The only time we're not gonna be here, just in case, is the week of July 10th through we'll be back on the 19th. So the 10th through the 19th is the week we're going to be closed because we'll be on vacation. Thank God.
What is that thing that you call vacation?
Good to hear. I'm stoked. I've been trying to find some Ground Zero dealers around me. Turns out there aren't many in Utah. I can understand that.
Utah?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There's got to be somebody up there because, that's where the other rep is up there, or that works for... We'll have to talk to Tommy about that one.
Yeah.
Tommy or Elias and see if they can help you out with that. Forza, you like them? Yes, you know that. Okay. Just bought the 2018 Honda Accord. Have audio control, LC 61200, 1.1500. Would I have to use a line-out converter? If it's the base model 2018 Honda Accord, meaning it doesn't have the premium sound system, no, you don't have to use one. The LC 61200 has everything you need in it for no problem. Even if it's a preamp, even if it's the amplified, I think in 2018 was the previous body style. I don't remember. But either way, if it's the base model, no, you don't need anything. The LC6i is perfect. Vacation, what's that? Exactly, no doubt, right? Jesus. Yay, Forza. What do you think about bullet tweeters?
I love them.
I'm not a fan in the sense that I would never put them in my car. I do like the Neo bullet tweeters. Like, for example, Ground Zero just came out with a new one that we talked about on the news last Friday that I'm like, we need a set of these because Fernando's like, I want to hear them. And they're like 190 dBs of efficiency, so it's like, yeah, if there ain't a tweeter out there, it's going to compete with that in the normal world, that is. But yeah, we did the, like the SPL show tweeter is is nice. It all just depends on the situation we're trying to put them in. Just because I don't physically want something in my life doesn't mean it can't be in your life. If this is the tool that we need to make your car sound the way it needs to sound, then we're going to use it. I'm not going to let my bias affect the way something in your life needs to be. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
No, Fernando does like bright tweeters. Pioneer 8704 4-channel amp dyno seems like a good bang for the buck. Want to see where it would max out. That's you know, the 4 channels and stuff like that are definitely one of the things that we want to do. Like I said, we actually have something else in the works right now that we're going to be doing with that. And once that's done, then I don't see any reason why we can't go back to stuff like that. The whole purpose of the amp dyno was to make videos, like, let's talk about that for a minute, shall we, Fernando?
No.
We did the amp dyno video this week. You guys got to see that. Thanks to Jeff Smith for providing those. Old school amplifiers is not anything we want to spend our time doing. It just turned out that was a really cool video. Having all the product and the ability to do that was fun. Don't take that out yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun. Some of you guys were like, oh, you need to get it up to 14.4. And no, we don't. If you'll notice, the title of the video was Real World Amp Dyno, because we're concentrating on 13.6, which is what most cars are sitting at. Some cars will sit at 14.4, which is a bonus, but we're concentrating on real world amp dyno reviews. Derek does a tremendous job of doing 14.4 and getting them out of it. And I don't need to go against his. He does a great job of that. We're not trying to copy that. What we want to do is all the other amplifiers that he's not going to do, because we have access to a lot more of them that you guys are doing, like the 4 channels, like the 5 channels. We have a huge stockroom full of amplifiers that we can just pull and play with. And we want to show you guys what a real world power is going to be like. I don't even care what the factory says it's going to do. Like, if the factory says this is supposed to be 1200 watts, I don't care.
Let's take that on the 10 volts.
Let's just put it in and see what it does. And because someone was like, you should put the rated power on the screen. I'm like, why does that matter? I mean, they could say it does 1,000,000 freaking watts, but if it doesn't, who cares? It's just a piece of paper. If their paper's wrong, their paper's wrong. I don't need to call them out on it. I mean, they know they're wrong. I mean, if they tested their amplifiers, they know they suck. We don't need to tell them they suck. But if you're going to buy that amplifier, then it makes sense for you to know that, hey, they said this is a 70-watt amplifier. No, it's a 110-watt amplifier. They said this was a 70-watt amplifier. It's actually a 50-watt amplifier. So I think that's where we want to go with it. And, of course, we're going to put our spin on it. Someone's like, why didn't you take the bottom of the amplifier off so we could see the guts? It's not my amplifier. It's Jeff's amplifier. I don't want to break Jeff's amplifier. It's not, just so I can go, look at the guts. We've all seen what the inside of the AM100 looks like. Derek did a great review of it.
Derek
so
does.
That's it. I'm not here to compete against Derek's stuff. We want to do stuff our way and hope it's, hey, we might be wrong. We might do these. You guys, these suck. Well, fine. We won't do them anymore. We'll change it and do something else. But are all the Rockford T-amps wrapped in plastic? Yes. When you buy a Rockford T-amp, it should be vacuum sealed in plastic. If it's not, that means it's been opened. It may have been hung on the wall, like we hang ours on the wall. So if you get it, it's the plastic wrap might be off. But yes, they all come wrapped in plastic. I'm tired of seeing mono amp dynos, more 4 channels, 6 channels, please. Exactly. That's what we're going to do. So we have our setup. We did some testing on some 4 channel amps when we got done with the Phoenix Gold amplifiers to see if the rig that we have right now works. I don't want to invest a ton into the rig yet. We need to make a couple, figure out what we actually need. My natural reaction is just to buy a whole bunch of stuff, and then we don't end up using half of it. So we're going to try to work with what we have and then buy smart. The other thing too is it's hard to get a lot of the parts that we feel we need, which we probably don't actually need. So I really enjoy the style of Amp Dyno. Love Derek too. Thought you guys both rock. Exactly, and that's the thing. There's enough content out there for all of us to watch. I have my style of video editing. He has his style of video editing, and we wanted to bring our style of information to you. I don't want to copy what he does. He does a great job, and it's his style. So, you guys know I don't like dead air. I don't like wasting time. I like to get to the point. I like to not say I don't like to breathe. It's just one blah, 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 blah. So our amp dynos are going to be exactly like that, and we'll add in and take away things when they don't work so good. Thanks, appreciate your content all the way from Iran. Dude, there's a couple guys. Do you follow anybody in Iran on Instagram? I got one guy that I follow on Instagram, a dealer over in Iran. Oh my God, they do some incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. I'm like, oh my gosh, Iran. That's the one, like, we've talked about this before, but I think world peace could be accomplished if every car stereo guy just got together in like one room. I think we could pretty much solve all the world's problems. I mean, at the end of the day, we'd all laugh and joke because, he burnt his subwoofer up. You suck. And we'd be like, bro, that's, but at the end of the day, we'd all be helping you glue it back together and make a new one and stuff like that. Car audio and music is definitely one of those boundary breakers that it doesn't matter where you're at in the world. If you have a love for car audio and I have a love for car audio, even if we don't speak the same language, I feel like we could all hang out and get along. And, it's all the side stuff that just kind of screws it up, And I think, like, if we all just concentrate on something silly like car audio, it'd be a hell of a place to be for sure. And there'd be batteries and burnt voice coils everywhere for everyone. Prefer real world numbers. I can speak. And that was our idea. I already have them made up right here.
Well, I just want to see.
I know, but it's like you can literally that's all set and ready to go. I do too, and that was the whole idea, was that I don't really care what something's going to do at 14.4. If it'll do a number at 13.6, then it's going to do better at 14.4. I think we're all good that way. What are your thoughts on SoundStream Nano amps? So we actually had the ability to play with one of those early on, and it didn't do anywhere near its fake numbers. However, it put out a ton of power. And that kind of falls into that category of, I don't care what they said it should do. For the amount of money and the amount of power it's putting out, it's impressive. But, it's that whole marketing thing. Well, if it doesn't say 3,000 watts on it, no one's going to buy it.
There you go.
Oh, that looks perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet. I will do that. What's your thoughts on Sony Mobile ES? The only thought I have for you on Sony Mobile ES is stay tuned. Oh, man, stay tuned. What I can tell you is this. They're going to be at Knowledge Fest. We've already talked to them. We're going to be interviewing them while we're there, and they will tell us what they can and what they can't. Of course, we'll try to get them to tell us because that's what we do. We do know things that we can't talk about. I know, right? And all I can tell you is that, oh my God. Oh my God, you guys are going to love this. The nice thing is the one thing that we can tell you about, you're going to be super excited about, and you'll know in a week. So probably Friday or Saturday of next week, we'll be able to tell you what that is, and you guys are just going to go, whoa. So it's a line I'm really excited about. Everything we've talked to them about it is sounding really promising. So the speakers are out now. And everything else is going to be coming as soon as chips and circuit boards and all that stuff go back to post-COVID production levels. So hopefully by the end of the year, we'll start to see some of the really cool stuff. At least we'll be able to talk about it. Dean, 2016 Honda Accord ANC module location. So there's 3 places that the ANC is in a Honda Accord. Above the glove box on the new one, below the radio, and above the pocket in the center console. There's a little flip pocket. You have to pull the center console out, and it's a silver box. It's the same box in all of them. It's right there. You pull the center console, pull that pocket, reach up. It's a box about yay big, yay tall. Plug faces toward the back. You plug it out. The third one, the ANC, is actually in the back of the radio, and you have to pull the radio out and unplug from the radio because they built it into the radio. I don't know which one you have, but those are the 3. You can also, if it's the one on the radio and you just don't feel like pulling out, obviously you can reach up into the headliner and pull the one back here. The one in the center is a little bit harder. There's a wire there you can cut. I don't remember what color it is because I haven't done that in a while, but I'm sure it's somewhere on YouTube. Will the ACM 4.300 be sufficient for Morel Maximo 6-inch speakers? Yes. That's actually a lot of power. They severely underrate those. The ACM 4 puts out 70 watts per channel when the Morel Maximo... we have never tested one of these putting out 50 watts. The bare minimum, like worst case scenario we ever got out of one of those was 72 watts per channel. So I think it'll be okay. See you at Knowledge Fest. You bet, Oscar. And with that, I think we're going to have to follow Oscar's cue. We got to get back to work. Plus, we also have to get ready in 15 minutes. Audio Control is going to be on their Facebook page talking about radio integration with our boy Matthew Palumbo. So make sure you guys head over to Facebook and let that run in the background. Get your learn on for sure. Tonight, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, head over to the Hi-Fi Vega Network where you can check out Reverse Polarity, followed by on the Side Jag channel, we're going to be talking about risky business with my wife, Sue, is our guest tonight. That ought to be fun. I mean, that ought to be fun. You guys, you know, it's like you want to see who was dumb enough to marry me. Go watch that tonight for sure. With that, you guys have a great rest of your day. Fernando.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
That would be a factory for every single car.
I mean, it seems like kind of a pain.
Everything is a pain.
Yeah, true. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How is everybody doing today? We have the Ford Explorer. We're just finishing up right now. Pretty excited about that. We just got done with the tune. We still got the laptop set over there. We'll go over there and talk about that for a moment. But first, let's take a look at what's happening inside of here. You can't really see it, but there is the fuse holder mount. There's an acrylic panel over there that says what it is, which is cool. But don't worry, we filmed it all, so at some point you guys will get to see it. The fuse holder's tucked up inside of the panel there. Makes it real easy to get to. Not really, I'm joking. Inside the car, we have the audio control bass knob. Let me cover that up right there. You go. You can kind of see the audio control logo. This is the ARC3 bass knob, and you know, get to have lots of fun with that. Fit into the fact it fit, which was awesome because we were super excited about that. There's the microphone still chilling out inside the car. That blue wire there is going off to the amplifier. But one of the things I wanted to show you was where we tuck the subwoofer in this. Hang on. Oh, there's the button. So, voila. No subwoofer visible. Well, except for that little piece of wire right there. In the Explorer, it has this wonderful cubby hole underneath here. Underneath that is the spare tire. And this is a kicker. Comp RT 12 downfiring box. Fits right in there. I don't think we were planning on putting it there, but man, it kills it inside of there. That's where we tuned it, and it was a tremendous amount of bass, so I think we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it in there. These panels actually come out, so if you want to, there's a hole here, so you can run the wire through there if you want to.
But you can just leave it like that.
Either way, it sounds awesome down in there. So if you have a Ford Explorer, third row seats right there, basically he's going to keep all his storage. That's pretty nice. I like it. Coming around here to the other side, this got the Focal plug and plays. He really wanted the Focal logo, so we made those to go on the door. And then the audio control, we haven't screwed the seat down yet, is located right here up underneath the seat. We can remove our USB cable because this guy is done. There was a factory push pin here and then one located at the back. We took those out. The hole was the size of our M5 nut certs, so that's what we used to screw it down. We didn't have to go up underneath the seat rails or anything like that. But there we go. Blue is signal in, green is signal out. And of course, even though we're using the GTO, we ran the remote turn on wire just in case we ever need it. In case something goes crazy, who knows. But that's powering everything there. And it sounds fabulous. As I said, let's go back over there to the laptops. You guys ask a lot of questions like, what do we use to tune? How that goes on. Tommy who? Tommy who? Who? Yeah. So here's the setup and here's how this all works. So this computer is a Windows Yoga from whoever, Lenovo Yoga.
That's
and
what I do.
You do yoga?
Yeah.
Dean, you coming to my daughter's open house graduation party tomorrow? I have no idea. Where do you live?
It's a party.
I mean, why not? Hey. So what we have is, this is the Yoga. This is running the Tune software. And it's USB plugged in right here, which I can unplug because we've unplugged it inside the car. This is the MacBook Air, and this is connected to the DMRTA. What you see is a ghosted image in the background. You can do that with the DMRTA. You can ghost up to, I think, like 8 different images. Hold on, let me scroll up. Yeah, 6. Sorry, 6. You can ghost in 6 images, which is really nice. That allows you to, if you find the perfect curve, you could keep it. I like to use it to mirror my left and right channels together. All right, hold on here. Dean, two Q class L715s on a CATS 2400.1 or quad box on 2400.1. So I think the 15s would be louder. And it'd be a bigger box. It'd be a way bigger box, like way bigger box. So if it's a room thing, I would go with the quad box because you're gonna get way more bass out of way less space. But if it's, I have tons of room and I've got tons of power and I can build a big ass box, I think the 15s would be louder. I think the 12s might be more user friendly as far as the amount of music you can listen to. But because, you know, the 15s, you know, it's always been my experience when I built 215s boxes, which I love 215s. Don't get me wrong, I had 215s in my car, big ported box. But I feel it's like it kind of limits, unless you're doing something like a free air 15 or something like that, where you're just looking for super low on bass extension. I don't know, I feel like a 15 is just like a one-trick pony. If I have 15s, I definitely have an epicenter. You know, just to try to get that thing to do what I want it to do, which is go crazy. Back to these for a second. One of the things, if you're an Apple user and you have a DMRTA, if you'll notice the power plug is plugged in, this thing overclocks this computer like it's nobody's business. You can actually hear the fan just killing it right now. So when I'm done, this thing gets shut off because my computer needs a break. It gets really, really hot running that thing. Afternoon, guys. But this is the setup here as far as how everything is going to be used. Fernando is wanting to put it away, so I will get out of his way so he can do that. We also, the reason why we use this computer for tuning everything, even though they'll work on either one, is we save everything on this. So like this is saved to today's date. So today's date, make, model, year, amplifier that got installed, along with speakers. So this is the file for this is 06182021, white Ford Explorer, D5 1300, PP Focals for plug and play. So that would be what the file name for this is, so we can easily go back and find it. Oscar's in the house. All right, let me go back here and see. There was a couple questions. I don't want to see if I can get some of those. Hold on. Yeah, I got that one. Dean, 2020 GMC 3500. Use the Morel Hybrid 62 tweeter and two-way, or the Illusion Audio C3CX as a throughway, both active setups. Oh, dang. Okay, so I've heard both of those, and I gotta tell you, man, it's tough. It's tough to beat those 3.5s up in the top of that dash. It really is. I mean, I'm a Morel fanboy for life, but gosh, man, those Illusions up in the top of that thing, they just do a lot of sound and sound really, really good. So I think I'm going to have to go Illusions with some form of a mid-bass in the bottom of the door. I mean, and pick any mid-bass you want, because, you know, it sounds great. But yeah, I think I got to do the Illusions in the top of the dash. And I can tell you right now, they're not just going to drop right in. You're going to have to do some work to get those in there. So be prepared for that. It's a smaller speaker. It's a tad bit smaller speaker than the Illusions. So it's not a direct drop in. If you want direct drop in, then just be happy with the Morels. The Morels do play super, super low. So you won't have anything to worry about there. All right. What's up? Alright, jamming through here. Alright, got that one. Best shallow mount for trucks, P3 Rockford or Kicker shallow. So we do a mixture of both of those.
Yeah.
Like the Toyotas always get the Rockford because that's the box that fits behind the seat. But I feel like when we have more, like, I like the Rockford factory box because it's like it's made, it works, it's Rockford designed it, it like works every time. The one box we make for that, we designed, all I did was clone the factory. We got to put that on, the seat's not screwed down yet, so we just cloned their box, and so we knew what it was going to sound like. But the kickers, we put in more of the universal applications. Like when it's just a sub, we use that kicker way more than we use the Rockford P3s. So I guess I would have to say, we use the kicker more than we use it. Yeah. So I would probably say the kicker is the one we use the most. Front, back, and down firing subs in a truck, 2 10s or 12s. I'm a 10s guy in a truck. If it's going behind the seat, there's a couple different things you can do. Front firing always seems like a waste of time to me, but that's what everyone always does, ourselves included, because that's just the boxes. If you're custom building your box, if you can backfire the woofers, it's basically like down firing them, but firing them towards the back wall and make that back wall super rigid. It's kind of a nice thing to do. When I had my single cab pickup truck, I down fired my woofers at an angle like this, so they weren't flat. I went like this so that the sound was actually coming, it was aimed towards the spot underneath the seat so that I could get the sound into the car, or get the sound up underneath the seat and into the car. But, you know, a lot of people don't spend that much time thinking about stuff like that anymore. Best way to wire the KS269s. I guess I don't understand that question. I mean, you use the passive crossovers, go. 2017 GMC Sierra Crew Cab. Can you keep factory radio or go with aftermarket? I don't. Depends, I guess, what radio you have. I think the 2017. Check PAC. Go to pac-audio.com. I don't know if that's the new High 10. They make a Chevy High 10. I don't know what year that's for. It might be that year. That's really, really nice. It pulls off that whole bezel and goes in there. It looks ultra cool. If you do the high 10, if it's the model year, it's not the most current truck dash, it's the previous one they make the high 10 dash kit for, which is really cool because you don't have to modify the back of the dash. If you do any other radio in there, you have a ton of work you have to do behind the bezel to get that chassis to fit in there. A ton of work. So Stinger just makes stereo for 2007 GMC. Yeah, okay, so it is. All right, so yeah, the high 10 will work. So you can head over to Stinger, like, just type in Stinger Audio and it'll take you there. Possible show in the pros and cons on soft and hard dome tweeters. Yeah, we can look at that. Are the Infinity Kappas any good? I haven't heard that specific one, but I mean, Kappas in general are a very popular, very popular speaker that most people do find pleasing to their ears. What's the strongest 4-channel amp at 4 ohm? Gosh, I don't know anymore because I mean, there's so many of these like other brands, we'll call them, you know, like the Down for Sound stuff and the Sundown and all these other big amplifiers like that. I mean, I know that the biggest 2 4-channel amp we probably carry is going to be something from Sound Digital, because I mean they have like the 1204s, but I think the Sound Digital would be the biggest that we carry. Difference between woofer and the door or sub in the trunk. Dean, you talk about front stage. Does the sub in the trunk feel like it's coming from behind you? Ooh, upfront bass. Upfront bass is kind of like the thing you chase as a sound quality competitor. Time alignment and volume are what gets your sound up front. So the bass is coming from the back, which we know is non-directional. We can pick up volume and we can time align to that, and we can get that bass to sound like it's coming from up front. However, once you deviate from that volume, it is going to change that upfront bass sound. The easiest way to demonstrate that would be if you take your fader or balance, you take your balance and you move it until you keep adjusting your balance until it sounds like you have a center image. But if you go back left, it disappears, and if you go too far right, it disappears. It's no different when you're doing this. So left and right balance is windshield wiper. Right and left or front to rear balance is what the subwoofer is trying to do. So you keep moving the volume until you get that sub to where it's coupling with the mid bass in the door, and that gives you that upfront bass sound, and it makes it sound like the subwoofer is coming from right in front of you. It's not anything. It's not something that most people will do, especially if you have some form of subwoofer level control in the car that you're just like, oh my gosh, I just want to beat the crap out of this thing, which is, yeah, most people just want bass that shakes the world. So. Soft sound double truths, pros and cons for selecting what your ears prefer. Cons, select one your ears don't like. Well, okay, Tommy, I'm going to have you on the show and you can talk about that. Yeah, I mean, that's one heck of a topic, and that's always what we tell people is that when you're deciding on a tweeter, you have to figure out what works for you, hard or soft dome, because like that's really the difference between them. I feel that Fernando is probably more of a hard dome tweeter, although you know, the last two tweeters he's heard in his car have been soft domes, and you've been really happy with those, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a tough decision. Sun in the trunk. Stuck between the Morels and the Flax three-ways. Wow. So that's your hard and soft dome. Yeah, 2400.4. Like I said, the Sound Digital is probably our biggest 4-channel. Boom. That's a tough place to be stuck between the Morels and the Flax. I mean, if we're talking like, that would be like Virtus is kind of that price range because The hybrids are a little bit more. However, if you can get into the hybrids, man, I don't think you're going to be... if you could swing the hybrids, I don't think you're going to have a problem with them. That's what Fernando had in his car, and he's a big Focal fanboy, and he was like, yeah, no, I'm good. What dB do you set your D6 1200 with the Virtus using the crossover? I don't have a preset on that one. Everything is just like when we get in the car, what we're dealing with. Hello from Louisville, Kentucky. Does a Corolla 2017 need an audio control LOC 2 Pro 2 or kicker key to key 200? No. If you're gonna do a key, you don't need the you don't need the LC. The key's got all that stuff built in. So, on that car, you just buy the keys and you're all set. Nothing else needed. Can you recommend a 5 1/4 inch coaxial speaker for good sound, Alpine R-Type, Ground Zero, radioactive? Man, okay. I'm not gonna lie. I hate 5 1/4. Why would I lie? But I hate 5 1/4. Right, Fernando?
Yeah.
Like nothing. I don't know any good 5 1/4. Like I'm gonna be disappointed every time I do a 5 1/4. It's bigger than a 4. So it's like you expect more, but you get less. It's not. I understand. It's like I don't have that. Like, oh my God, you should get this 5 1/4. It's so awesome. I don't know of one because they all suck in my eyes. Help. How would you wire 6x9s, and how many amplifiers would you recommend? At a minimum, you're going to need a 4-channel. Okay. If they're all 4 ohm 6x9s, a 4-channel would run them. You could put 4 of them on channels 1 and 2 when you connect 2 of them to channel 1 and 2 of them to channel 2, connecting all the positives and all the negatives for the corresponding channels. Channels 3 and 4 could power the other 2 6x9s. Technically, on a 4-channel amplifier, it can most 4-channel amplifiers will do 2 ohm stereo and 4 ohm stereo. So that means that you can put 8 4 ohm speakers on a standard 4-channel amplifier. So that's why I said a minimum you need a 4-channel amplifier. As far as how you're going to set them up, it depends where your 6x9s are going to go. I would try to pair them up so that you can have some form of level control depending on where they're going to be. Best way to integrate factory head. All right. Best way to integrate to the factory head in 2021 Accord Touring. It just depends on whether or not you have the premium audio system. That's the biggest question. If you don't have the premium audio, it's real simple. High level to low level 4-channel output from the deck, rock on. If it has the premium audio system, it gets way more complicated. And honestly, right now, it's just such a headache. Metra is this close to being awesome with theirs, but they're this far away. Can I call you to get help with the radio? I don't have a phone here. Hi, I looked to upgrade my head unit and wanted to know, what do you recommend, Sony or Alpine? Both of those are awesome radios, man. Both those are awesome radios. I don't know which. Yeah, I mean, they're both gonna do your job. Sup, I'm getting my Bob Ross on. Yeah, it looks like it. What type of speakers should I set up my 2018 Honda Accord doors with? Honestly, most of the Accords we've done, we've either put Focal or Morel in, but I think Morel might be the most popular out of the bunch. The Virtus is really nice because you don't have to modify the door to fit a Virtus because of the way it uses that neo magnet that goes into the small cone in the back. You can fit a Virtus right in there, correct? On the Honda Accord? I know, on a Honda Accord, you don't have to cut the door for Virtus, right?
No.
Yeah, it just goes right in. Yeah. Mobile Solutions, checking in. What's going on? I think he's going to have a Father's Day sale. So if any of you guys have been waiting to pick up the wire ruler or any other the cool products that Mobile Solution has, make sure you head over to that website and or check them out on Facebook or Instagram or
The website.
The website's a really good place to go because I think he's going to have some kind of a sale It might be going on now. I don't know.
I think so. I think like templates.
You think some templates are on sale? All right. Well, anyways, check it out. And if not, it's a great time to pick up a wire ruler. They just got a fresh batch of green and blues, so those are the winning colors. Everyone likes green and blue. Sounds like a Moscone 90.8 DSP and Morel hybrids. It is an active mode. Oh, that'll be nice. That's the AB class little 8-channel that they make. So those are interested. Was it Gary Biggs loves that piece. He talks about it so much. So it's a lot you can do with it. I guess the compatible Audison product would just be the Forza. Best sub setup for a Tundra. Rockford P3 pre-made box, 10 or 12, one sub or two. We have two systems we offer for that. One has a single Rockford P3 factory box, the 12-inch with the grill. You have to have the grill. That's our go-to. Like if we're doing a 5-channel amp, we put that in there. If somebody's going to go bigger, then we actually build. We have a box built to go in there, which is basically two of the Rockford factory P3 boxes. I believe MTI also makes that same box now to go in there. But the P3s are what we put in there, just because that is a super thin box. It fits great. And they make the grills that we need. That's the other thing. They make those nice mesh grills that fits in there really cool. So definitely like it. You need to get an Epicenter Micro to the show. I don't think they're shipping yet, but yes, as soon as we get we've known about them for a long time. Trust me. You think you guys just found out about them yesterday, man? Like we've known about those things for like a year now, and they've been just like, you know how hard it is to not talk about this stuff sometimes. But there's even more. But wait, we can't talk about it, so it don't matter. Alpine, give us all your cell numbers. No, they'd have to lock me in a cell. Dean knows that's a no. Okay. Awesome, thank you. Can you run a Rockford DSR1 on a 2021 F-150? So, the answer to that is yes and no. And as always, let me explain. First off, the no part of it is there is no harness for the 2021 Ford F-150 yet. If you caught yesterday's Instagram on this, you'll see why. They both use the same plugs. Pardon me, if you didn't catch it, go back and watch it, speed through it. There's a point where we show you the factory radio tuner box for this. It's the exact same one that's in the F-150. In the F-150, it's up in the dash, and this it's back in the rear. So if you get rear-ended, you basically lose your radio. Way to go, Ford. The plugs don't exist for it yet. Now, if it's a 4-channel basic F-150, then you can still use the DSR1 because the DSR1 has 4 channels of high-level input. If you're hoping to use the DSR1 to reprogram the factory radio like you can in the older versions, no, it's not capable of doing that yet. So that's how that works. Give me a Morel shirt. Talk to Natasha. She's the one that hooks everyone up with those. Yep, they are. Just picked up my template. So there you go. Mobile Solutions sale is on right now, so definitely head over there and check it out. Yep. What type of candy was Nando's choice today? He's not sporting the candy today, so today he's rocking the chips. So these are going to be fun. So these are the Tootsies? Tootsies? How do you say? Yeah, whatever. Toties. So apparently it's a bunny. It's puffed. It's kind of like a pork rind, but
yeah, it is.
Is this pork rind? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's like a pork rind. It's got chili and lime. It's very hot, and he will soak them in his Valentina sauce to make them even more hot. And honestly, they're fine until you put the Valentina sauce on them, and then you just want to die. It does something to it that makes them almost unedible, but he will sit here and sweat. And just, yeah, and it's like, I've done it many times, and it's painful.
Just try, man. Just try it.
I've tried it. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. Love the Corolla video. Yeah, you guys, it's been fun. I'm excited to get the Corolla video going. What set of factory channel front and rear should I tap into to send a signal to an audio control? Fronts. You want to go to the front channels. Try to go to the passenger side would be the better one to pick. It's easier. I like my seal box design. There you go. On the Tundra. Yeah. I haven't got a really play with the Epicenter, but I get the concept. Man, let me tell you what. The Epicenter is the bomb. 4-way front setup with the Illusion 3.5s. Is that possible if you have the locations? Okay, so hold on. 4-way front setup. How? Okay, I mean, you got a tweeter, you got a mid, you got a mid bass. Are you gonna add a subwoofer somewhere up there? Because I mean, I don't know what else you're gonna need, but if you got the room, anything's possible. I have 2 speakers per door, 4 doors, wired at 4 ohm, connected to a mono full range amp. Do you lose stereo sound? Is it still tunable through an audio controlled DM608? Okay, everything is tunable with an EQ. Where you run into weird problems is coaxials, if you're trying to time a line, specifically in the front door. If you have 2 mid bass in the front door and you're trying to time a line, might be fun, but Jeff says to go into the middle of them, and that should give you what you want. If you have 2 sets of coaxials in the front door, then you're just going to EQ it. You're going to cross it over and you're going to EQ it. A DSP has, as we said, 4 things: independent channel level control, time alignment, EQ, and crossover. You don't have to use all 4 things to use a DSP. I know, it seems crazy, but it's okay. You don't have to. So like in your case, you might be fine just using the crossover to get a better crossover and using the EQ to make it sound awesome. That's what the EQ is designed to do. You might not want time alignment. Not everybody does. It's okay to leave it alone. But you might want level control, because you might be like, man, I don't know, these in the back, this one right here behind my head is just like way too much. So, you know, being able to control that. But yes, by all means, you'll have fun with it. It'll be great. All right. Can you recommend a good 10-inch sub with 150 watts RMS that works great in a sealed box? I mean, pretty much any woofer will work in a sealed or ported enclosure. Pretty much, not all of them. I mean, don't get all crazy. I mean, 1500 watts, that's the problem. That's really the problem. So, I mean, I think you're going to have to look at one of your bigger woofers, because most of like the stuff we carry really isn't made to do 1500 watts. So maybe look at something, you know, like a big Sundown or something like that, and see how they handle that. That would be my guess. Hello, amigos. Is the Epicenter digital or analog? It's an analog in and out would be, I guess, the answer to that question. So it's analog in, analog out. Is there a DAC in it? Possibly. My guess is yes. The 118 in Arizona yesterday. I know you guys are going through a crazy heat wave. Like, did you see that, Fernando?
What?
The heat wave that, like, the lower part of California, Arizona, Nevada is going through? It was like 126 in Death Valley the other day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, screw that. I'm fine in Florida where we have rainy, crappy, humid weather. What happened to the audio control amps with built-in epicenters like the Epicenter 6 or 1200? You mean like that one right there? Unfortunately, what happened to that was price and size. It was one of those things where it was a wonderful idea. Most people don't understand how an epicenter works. Sorry, it's just how it is. They get confused. Anytime somebody gets confused, they get scared. They're not going to spend their money on it. The other thing, too, is a 600 and it was a 1200 watt amp. For the price that it was at, because it had the epicenter built into it, people weren't buying them. For the same amount of money, they could come out with an 800 watt amp that had the LC2I built into it, that had AccuBase, that most people are comfortable with, or at least understand the concept of. Very few people actually know how to set it up. And you get 800 watts to the 600 watts, you get 1500 watts to the 1200 watts. So it was kind of one of those things where it was a spectacular idea, and then it wasn't. So it just went away because of price point and power. I keep telling them that they need to bring back out a 500 watt amp. So I would like to see like an ACM 500. I think that would be really nice because it's at like they have a 300, they have an 800, but 500 is right where a lot of people are at. It's like the go-to, like the Key 501. Jesus, we sell a ton of those things because it's that perfect amount of power. It'll power two 10s, it'll power two entry-level 12s, it'll power one 12, it'll power two 10s in a pickup truck. So it's like, though 800 watts is better, something about that 500 watts and that price point that you hit with that 500 watts is just really cool. Is the box you made for the Tundra that you put in the P3s ported or sealed? Can you have a ported made for those? It's sealed. There isn't enough room for ported. That's a small seal box. Like, you literally, the width of the bottom of the box is like that big. It's like, it's nothing. So no, there's no airspace. You could do a 112 ported. Yeah, you could do a 112 ported, but not a 2. Not a 2, not at all. VXI 6600 or Helix P6 amp for 3-way K2s. Man, that's a tough one. A P6 or a VXI 606. Fernando's even giving you the cringe. That's a tough one, man. I mean, I know a lot of people right now would probably say the Helix, because the Helix is definitely the new hotness. Plus, the Helix is probably in stock, which is a contributing factor to a lot of this. A lot of these products just aren't in stock right now. The Helix probably is in stock. I love both of the softwares that they come with. So one thing that the JL has that the Helix doesn't is that the JL has Mac compatibility instead of just Windows. But one thing that the Helix has is that you can buy the Helix microphone for it, and then you'll have a built-in RTA. So that's something that is new, but you can buy that Helix and then buy the mic, and through the circle of life of the laptop, you have an RTA for metering the input of the electrical side, and because you now have the mic, you have the ability to meter the audio side. So it's a really cool feature that is just starting to, like, hey guys, we can do this. So that might be a win right there. Can you please answer my question? I don't know where your question is, Johnny. Hold on, let me see if I can find Johnny's question. What is the best amp for 215 Rockfield Punishers? How would I know? I mean, I don't know. I've never even touched a Rockfield woofer. EXO, man. He did all that, y'all. That's all that crazy Rockfield stuff, man. That ain't our speed. That's not my speed. I'm sorry, man. All right. When are the new 5-channel DSP audio control amps arriving? They're here. There's one in this car right now. We just shot a video with the Avalon that had one in it. But no, they're there. You can get them right now. Did you already screw the seat down?
Yes.
Seat screwed down, sorry. But yeah, no, they're already available right now.
You can see it if you just slide it.
Yeah, either way. You can pick them up right now. Thank you. Tip for power distribution for a kicker key and the JBL base donut. I want to run 8 gauge to the back with fuse distribution and having a hard time considering the different. Yeah, see, we wouldn't even waste our time with that. I mean, I get it, like, because it's like that's two 12 gauge wires essentially is what you need for both of those. Man, you're gonna have a hard time with that because there isn't going to be all distribution blocks. Like, you might be able to find like a 3 8 gauge distribution block. Like, Amp makes Stinger, I'm sorry. Stinger makes a 4-gauge, 8-gauge distribution block that you could probably get away with. So I would look at like the 8-gauge distribution blocks. Maybe pick up some ferrules. That'd make the wire just a little bit thicker. And I think you should be okay. But yeah, that's what I would do for that. You skipped over my question. It happens. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best here. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. I know, right? I can't find it. But I saw you say that I skipped it, so I guess that doesn't count. Hey guys, have y'all tried the infinity cap amplifiers? No, we haven't. They haven't made it into the process yet. What do you got going on over there, man? You making more extensions?
Like longer ones.
Longer ones? Okay. All right. Well, Fernando's got something set up that I think I need to do. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm sorry if I missed your question. We try the best we can. It's been fun. It's been real. Today is Friday. So you guys go forth and be merry and have a great day. Tomorrow is Saturday, which means we'll be live at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, answering more of your questions over there on YouTube and having all kinds of good fun with that. Oh, that's warm. You guys have a great day. Fernando.
Bye, guys.
Say it again.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Just that simple. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Where can I contact you guys for a quote? Best bet is to send... All right. Listen. Best bet is to send Paul an email at 5starcarstare@gmail.com. I can't promise you when he's going to get back to you. We got a 1-star review yesterday because Paul didn't call somebody back to make an appointment. So that was really exciting there. Thanks. Thanks for, basically saying we suck because apparently we suck. We can't call you back. Right now we're really booked because it's just COVID has just been ridiculous for us. I don't know what to tell you. I feel bad, but thanks for the 1-star. Not you, the other guy. You're the best. Anyone in California you can recommend. There's a bunch of people in California, guys. There's
What area? Yeah.
It depends. That's the problem. California's so big. It just depends where you're at. But there is a lot of guys.
Gary Bell, Define Auto Sounds?
Yeah, like Define Auto Sounds. What's Anthony's place?
Audio Systems.
Audio Systems.
Agora Auto
I
Sounds.
was say Agora Auto Sounds.
That's,
and then like 10 others that I just can't remember the names of the places that. But yeah, there's a ton of them out there.
This time.
I know. We need to make like a dealer finder. All right, guys, listen. We're gonna end it there. Thank you so much for tuning in today. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you later next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye. You sure?
Oh, totally, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I guess it was a good idea to put the sticker on the top of it, though.
Yeah.
At one point, we knew we'd need it for something. Yeah. So that was a good idea. Sanding it wasn't all that fun, but...
No,
but that's okay.
this is our new amplifier.
That is right for Marty. Marty's in the house.
Yeah.
Marty's in the place to be. We get to see Marty next week.
Yes.
Oh my
He's
gosh. Huh?
He's coming?
Of course he's coming.
Nice.
I mean, who doesn't want to come to Florida?
Yes.
I mean, I don't necessarily want to come to Orlando, but I mean...
Orlando's cool.
Orlando
Orlando's
has
fun.
Disney, but we're not really going to Orlando. That's the funny part. It's like Kissimmee.
We're gonna go to the bars and we're gonna get wasted. No?
I'm not. You might. I might have to walk you home. You're not getting wasted. Going live at 6 o'clock? Of course we're going live at 6 o'clock. There's me and the TV right there. So, yeah, we haven't even started setting it up yet.
No, not yet.
We've been doing some video work. We had some time today. And we had some special white box projects. These white box projects. They're not white boxes from like China. They're just...
It's a secret box.
It's a secret box.
Yes.
With products in it that we had to do some stuff, some testing on and videos and whatnot. You guys will find out. It's not... Don't get too excited. I know when I say that, like, I know when someone says that to me, I, like, lose my mind and get so excited.
Oh, but that's good. Get excited.
But then I always say, like, everyone just needs to... I always play it down.
Yeah.
I'm the worst at that. Like, just calm down, everyone. But with that being said, this we can show. This is my favorite little Kenwood Excellent amplifier. This is the 802.5. And we just got done doing a full amp dyno video on it. So I'm pretty excited about that. Needless to say, this thing is a beast.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it is a beast. Like, I've loved this amplifier.
It's impressive.
This is the second iteration of this amplifier, and the first one was impressive, but I always thought this one was nice, but it's definitely a monster. Crazy thing is I'm at Custom Sound Shop in my area installing 2 Hippos? Terror amps? Oh, okay. You guys go live. That's cool. All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just there in January. I wanted to come by, but figured you guys were busy. We're always busy. Feel free to stop by.
Right there.
Yeah,
I
mean,
know
we're always busy, but please feel free to stop by.
Not next week.
Not next weekend. What's wrong with Orlando? I don't knock Tampa. Oh no. Okay. Hold the thought. Okay, listen. Orlando gets an equal sum of my money. I spend at least a weekend there a month because we go to Disney, we go to our Universal. I stay at the hotels. I love Orlando. I'm just saying, when everyone calls Orlando, I feel like Kissimmee gets kind of shorted because, like, it's really Kissimmee.
Well, most of the people.
But we all called Orlando. So, I love the area. Trust me, I like being closer to the water just because I get to pay the insurance and actually fear for my life. Unfortunately, you guys have to pay the insurance, still get all the crappy weather, but don't have, like, you're not that close to the water. So it's kind of like bummer. I mean, granted, you're only like an hour and 20 minutes away from the water. I mean, it's not like it matters.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
I mean, I don't think Daytona might be closer.
Yeah.
But no, trust me, I dig Orlando. And this has been Florida Talk with Dean and Fernando. Hey, where are you guys located? But anyways, back to this little nightmare here on the bench. I've been really dying to try this. Some of you guys might recognize this. We built this, I don't know, 2 years ago or a year ago? Probably 2 years ago. So what this is, this was a donated heatsink from a specific manufacturer. You might recognize it. It kind of looks like this amplifier here by this manufacturer. Anyways, and this doesn't work. This is a prop that we have for showing you how to tighten up and use ferrules. But anyways, inside of this, these screw marks here that you're seeing, this has 4 200-watt, 4-ohm load resistors. And we wired them into the back of this so we can use this as a load resistor bank when we're doing something like a 5-channel amplifier. That way we can properly load down the channels that aren't being tested, so we can properly tax the power supply so that it doesn't give us it's giving it the best that it can, meaning we don't just want to be like, it's only 2 channels and all the power is going to those 2 channels. We want to load everything down, just to give us a better test. So the dyno loads down the test channels, but we wanted to load down the non-test channels. So that's what this guy does here.
This is it's not an amplifier.
It's not an amplifier. Yeah, and somebody had made the suggestion of treating it differently, so I was like, let's go to town. So as you can see, we hand polish the top of it, and then we put the cool 5-star sticker on it. So, but yeah, that was cool. Thanks, Shane. Shane got us that before he left.
That was Shane. That was not the manufacturer.
Yeah, it was Shane before he left.
Shane.
I can be in a beach in 25 minutes. There you go.
Gosh.
There you
It's
go.
gonna take me 25 minutes to get to the beach too.
I was gonna say this would probably take us.
And I live 5 minutes away.
I was gonna say it'd take us longer than 25 minutes. I feel to get to the beach.
Yeah.
Have you guys worked on 3rd generation Lexus IS? Metro has nothing for speaker brackets. Yes, we have, and you're right. That's what all these. That's what these are all. These are all just, it's probably in that stack there, or that's one of these stacks here. I think these are all the Japanese cars. Oh no, it's in this stack. Yeah, it's that stack right there.
It's gotta be in Toyota.
Yeah, so it's that stack. But yeah, that's what you run into, unfortunately. But if you want the bearing, the ball bearing, so this is the quad stack 1/4 inch flush trim bit from Mobile Solutions. If you want like the bit to do that, this is the one to have. I mean, this one is cool. Like, okay, let me grab this. So this is like, if you gotta have one, I suppose this is it, because like this amount of height will pretty much flush trim anything. It's just scary as hell to use because it's so big. 90% of the time you can get away with using this little guy right here. So it's got your 4 bearings there. So I mean, you have usually enough room to get I'll make this work just so I don't have to put that guy in, because I've hurt myself enough with these damn routers. So yeah, but this is nice. This is nice. I like that. I go to Tampa for Busch Garden and lost.
Yeah.
Right?
Me too.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, Busch Gardens is like the best value in town, as far as like you pay for a day and come all year thing, and it's like I think tickets were like $100, something silly like that. So it's like, you know, I'm sorry guys, I don't mean to talk about Busch Gardens and fun stuff like that, but the only thing I hate about Busch Gardens, and I'm gonna throw shade at Busch Gardens, is that it's an older park that wasn't designed very well. But if you're into roller coasters,
Oh, I love roller coasters.
yeah, like when we go to Busch Gardens, which we've gone a couple times together, I'll watch. Sue and I will watch Sebastian, and we'll trade kids. So they take Haley and go on all the roller coasters, and we take Sebastian and go on all the kiddie rides and trains, and you know, show them the animals and stuff like that. Uncle Dean's got you, bro. We're gonna have some fun. Do you want ice cream? I'm gonna get you some ice cream.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Roller Coaster King, Cedar Point. Probably, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a roller coaster guy. I'm way past that. But Universal now has Velocicoaster,
Yes.
which is their new roller coaster that Haley went on 2 weeks ago. And
like
it scared the crap out of her. Oh, yeah, it's scary.
Yeah. I saw
It's
the commercial.
scary.
Yeah.
Like there's a part where
Naomi's going
apparently everyone says the same thing. There's a part when you go over the water that you feel like you're gonna fall out. Like her butt came off the seat and she thought she was gonna die. Amy thought the same thing too.
Naomi's going tomorrow.
Oh, is she going?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hopefully she'll get to go on that because it's nuts. Have to go to Busch Gardens in Virginia. I would love to. I mean, as you guys know, I love theme parks. So, I mean, you know, we'll go. I just don't like roller coasters. That's why a lot of the theme parks that are coaster parks, they're kind of lost on me. It's kind of sad. But, so one of the other videos we got to film today too was one of the videos you guys had asked for. Do you know where that's at? Is that in that box? Grab that. Does everyone in Florida drive Fords, Toyotas, and Nissans? See very few Tahoes or Suburban videos. Want to see full install in a Suburban or my own selfish reasons. Believe it or not, that was a very pull the 5-channel out. That was a very popular car for a very long time. However, the new one, not so much. My buddy actually has one. And but yeah, you're right. There's not a lot. We don't do a lot of Tahoes. It's all pickup trucks, man. Everybody buys pickup trucks here. I don't know why. Or they buy tiny SUVs.
Jeeps.
You know, but yeah, we don't do a lot of Navigators either. Like I think we've literally quoted.
They just navigating over there.
I've quoted one Navigator and it was scheduled to come in, and then he got T-boned, and that was the end of that. So one of the other amplifiers we also got to amp dyno today, which is awesome, is this guy. This is the JVC KSDR 3005D. A couple of you guys asked us about this amplifier. Is it any good? What, you know, can you dyno this? And JVC was kind enough to let us borrow this. We don't get to keep it. We have to give it back, which thank God. But this was, and I just say that because it's like the stuff accumulates and then we just end up giving it away anyways, which is cool for you guys. But we want to give this stuff back because then we feel like we owe them, and there's that whole thing there. But either way, we got to amp dyno this, take the bottom off, show you all the goodies. So that video will be coming out next month or so when we get time for that. 850.5. We don't have the ARC 850.5. The only ARC we have is the PS 850, which is the DSP amplifier. I don't know how we're going to do those. It's on the list of things to try, though, because we have a lot of those little amplifiers we'd love to do those dynos on. So we're going to have to figure out. I'm sure it's totally doable. It's just a matter of getting the time to figure out how to do a dyno with the DSP amplifier. I mean, obviously, if you leave all the DSP off and all that fun stuff, power's power, it should work. My question from yesterday was thinking of using the C3 set, mid-bass, and a bigger, running them as for easy set. Hold on. My question yesterday was thinking of using the C3 with a set of mid-bass and some bigger mid-basses and running them as a four-way set. Okay, so like the 3.5 tweeter, maybe a 6 and an 8, or a 4 and an 8, or just, I mean, a lot of people just do like the tweet, the 3 and the 8, and like that covers everything. One guy we know, that's like his go-to system. He does the 8-inch Illusion 8-inch mid bass, the 3.5 and tweet, and that's his 3-way set. To me, I would probably do that and have more power on those than trying to split it apart into a 4-way set, if that makes any sense. Because I mean, technically it is a 4-way set because you're gonna have a subwoofer, so you'd be building a 5-way set. But that's just my thought. Like, I would use those other channels to either bridge and get something more power, or go active or whatever it is. But I would do that more so than anything. What happened to Scar Amp? So that Scar Amp, the one that we converted into, that was an RP amplifier that died of some reason. We called up, so let me tell you the story, because you guys always love stories. Right? Hold on. All right. So this amplifier came to us because some doofus used some CCA wire into his amplifier and didn't use a ferrule and didn't ever check it and didn't know how to tighten it down, and he didn't figure out that when the amplifier was cutting off all the time, he should go check it out. So he literally just lavaed the side of this amplifier with his crappy ground connection. So while we had this amplifier, I had just gotten in 4 of the load resistors, and I was like, wait a minute. We were looking at them. We had this sitting on the bench, and I was like, oh my God, these things almost fit perfect. So I called up my buddy Shane, and I asked him if he had another RP amplifier that was going into the garbage, and he did. And so I was like, perfect. The load we had to take it apart, and we actually had to plane down the inside of the amplifier to get the load resistors in. But it was the perfect size. We wanted to keep it as small as possible, and we wanted the 4-channel end on it here so that we could do like we did with that. But yes, that's what's wrong. That's what happened to this amplifier. CCA sucks, guys. And also, loose screws are terrible. Thanks. I'll do some more searching. Want a flush punch 5-channel under second row? No. Yes, there'll be a show today. There'll be a show. It's going to be in 15 minutes, Victor. Fernando's setting it up right now. We just wanted to come on and, of course, remind you that there is going to be a show tonight, and also that we were just having some fun with a Kenwood amplifier and a JVC amplifier because, hey, it's Kenwood and JVC. Aren't they fun to play with? But next Saturday, there'll be no show because we'll be doing Knowledge Fest. Thank God. And having that fun. Suggestions on a 100x4 cheaper 4-channel amplifier. I mean, 100x4. Does it have to be 100x4? Because I mean, a lot of them are going to be 70x4. Mm-hmm. 2 amplifiers that pop in mind immediately are the Kenwood Axelon 404 which is a basically 100 watt by 4. It's the X404 X-Line amplifier. Or check out the Rockford R2. They make 3 4-channel amplifiers. And I'm sure one of them would be, they make a 504, which I think is 100 or something like that by 4, which is going to be reasonably priced. So I would definitely check one of those out off the top of my head. How far booked are you out right now, guys? I think we're booking for sometime in July. It really just depends what you're trying to do and when you want to do it. That's what kind of screws up the, it's like everybody needs like a Thursday and a Friday, or everybody, so it's a matter of what day you're trying to get and that kind of thing. But there you go. Plug me in and turn me on. Getting a Honda Passport for the wife. That's what Victor's getting.
Oh, what?
He settled on a Passport.
Really?
Yes, apparently he doesn't love her.
Mine is gonna expire soon.
I'm kidding, Victor. So is Fernando, but not really. Thoughts on massive audio? I don't know. I honestly have no thoughts on the massive stuff. I haven't played with that stuff in a really, really long time. Is Nando still using his hybrids or ground zeros in the lab right now? He's currently,
right now,
we have the ground zeros because we're waiting to install the amplifiers in there. As soon as we do that, then we'll rock that for a while.
Yeah.
And the hybrids will probably be going back in just because we have some testing we need to do with those.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of swapping things in and out, and that's why it's called the lab.
Swapping.
And his car is way easier to work on. I installed the Kicker 404 or 204. I don't know why I call it that. The 200 because I secretly want a 404 key. I installed the key. The 5x7 CS coaxials. Those things sound great. Those things are awesome, man. Remember the first set of those we did when that first came out?
Yeah.
And we were like, dude, that guy didn't pay for all this sound.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Can I rewire biamp and add 2 tweeters while leaving the coax tweeter intact? Should I cut off the leads to the coax tweeter? Change. So here's what happens. When you go biamp, it automatically assumes that the speaker in the door is a mid-range. So it will already actively cross those over, so you don't need to worry about cutting the tweeter out of the loop. So you could just leave it in there. It's not going to play. If you want it to be loud, if you're looking for loud, then don't do the biamp mode and just put up tweeters in the dash, passively crossed over, unless you're going for front stage upgrade. If you're going for front stage upgrade, then you can do the biamp mode. We've actually ran into this a couple times where we did coaxials in the bottom of the door, and then we did some like 3.5s in the dash, and we ended up not doing biamp mode, just leaving it as 2-channel input. And then it runs the test and does everything, and it's fine. LOL, you want my RP 2001 went with a Terra Amp 5K bass in my trunk as the 8K. Wow, you got a lot of power. Dang. But no thank you on the amp. By all means, there's probably somebody out there that could use it way more than we could, so I would suggest passing it along to somebody, but thanks for the offer. Can't wait for next weekend. I know, right? That's Oscar.
Oh man, can't wait, bro.
Yeah. Super excited. Can you do an amp dyno on the Audio Control LC 6100 or the LCD 4.800? Yes, we can, and it is definitely in the mix of things we want to do. Mm-hmm. We'll be talking to Chris next week to hopefully get our hands on some of that stuff so that we can do it. But no, those are all amps in the thought process of what we want to be doing. All right, listen, I got to cut it there, guys. This has been a wonderful week. Not really, but it's been fun. It's been terrible.
I don't know what kind of week you're talking about.
Yeah, it sucked. But I need to go because I got to log in so that we can all head over to YouTube and have a great show there. So thanks for the questions. Make sure to go over to YouTube right now, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. You have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you later.
Ah!
Whatever that was.